let's say we have x plus 2, a binomial, times a trinomial. We have 3x squared minus x plus 4. Alright, the first thing we look at is, are they in standard format? X to the 1 and then a constant. So we're in the correct order on that. X to the 2 minus x to the 1 plus 4. So yes, we're in standard format in both cases. Alright, second, we're not going to use FOIL because we don't have two binomials, but we are going to distribute. And what that means is we're going to distribute x times each of these terms, and then we're going to distribute 2 times each of these terms. And then we're going to add those two together. Alright, so a couple different ways we could do this. I think what we'll do here is we'll just start into it. No, I think what we'll do, we'll put it in a vertical format. So we'll rewrite this, although there are several ways one could do this. And then we'll say x plus 2 underneath. This is kind of putting it in a form that maybe we've seen in elementary school for numbers. Alright, so we've done that. Now the first thing we'll do is we'll take this first part, 2. We'll take it 2 times 3x squared. Well, we'll start over here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times negative x would be minus 2x. And then 2 times 3x squared, which would be 6x squared. Alright, so we've taken this 2 and we've distributed it across here. We could have done this horizontally, by the way, here as well. Alright, the next thing we do is we're going to take this other term, x times each term. And it's going to be important that we line them up correctly with this first line. So we take x times 4, which is 4x, and we'll line it up with the like term here. Alright, then we take x times minus x, which gives us minus x squared, and we'll line it up with a similar term. Alright, now we take x times 3x squared, which would give us 3x to the third. X squared times x to the 1 would be 2 plus 1. So we have 3x cubed. Put a line here. So you see I've taken great care to line up constants, x to the 1 terms, x squared terms, and x cubed terms. And now we just add them up. So we have an 8 down here. We have minus 2x plus 4x would be plus 2x. We have 6x squared minus x squared gives us, so x squared has a coefficient of 1, understood. So 6x squared minus 1x squared gives us 5x squared. And then over here we have a 3x cubed by itself. So it just adds to itself. So 3x cubed. And that's our final answer for multiplying this, using this method. Alright. Let's try another method. Alright, let's say you don't want to do it vertically. So in that case we can distribute. So we can distribute 2 times each term. So we do that first. Really you're going to end up with the same thing. So again we have 2 times this term, 2 times this term, 2 times this term. Now we're going to distribute this. I'll use a different color because it's going to get a little messy. But we have x times that term, x times that term, and x times that term. So x times this is 3x cubed. Put it over here. Looks familiar, doesn't it? X times the next term is minus x squared. And x times the next term, 4x. And again, we get to adding these two. We distributed 2 across for the first line. We distributed x across for the second line. We add them together. Not much difference between vertical and horizontal in this case. So we end up with 8, 2x, 5x squared, and 3x cubed. Same result. Okay, let's go on to another example. Alright, let's say we have x minus 3 times x plus 7 times x plus 1. We have 3 binomials, all times each other. Well, we're going to do this in steps. The first thing we can do is we can use the FOIL method and multiply 2 of them together. So I'll just pick these 2. I could have picked any 2. And I'll use FOIL on those. And then after the FOIL, I'm going to end up with a trinomial times this binomial that's left. And for that, I'll distribute. So first I'm going to use FOIL on 2 binomials, and then with that result I'm going to distribute on the second step. Alright, so for this, x minus 3 times x plus 7. Use FOIL on those 2. So FOIL is the first term of each binomial, x and x. So x times x is x squared. And then O of FOIL means outer, so x times 7 is 7x. Inner, these 2 inner terms, minus 3 times x, minus 3x. And last, the last term of each binomial, minus 3 times 7 is minus 21. Alright, we look at this and we see, can we combine the 2 middle terms? Yes, we can. Plus 7x minus 3x gives me 4x. These 2 terms. So I have x squared plus 4x minus 21 is the trinomial that resulted from using FOIL in these first 2 binomials. Alright, so I have this trinomial, and I have that times x plus 1. And I think I'll just start at the top of the board here. So, alright, so we did that. So now we have x plus 1, this term that was left, times this trinomial that we got using the FOIL method. Now we're going to distribute. So to distribute, we'll take 1 times each term, and then we'll add to that, we'll take x times each term. We'll distribute that across everything. Alright, so when we do the first term, 1 times x squared gives us x squared. 1 times 4x gives us 4x. 1 times minus 21 gives us minus 21. Now we'll distribute this x times each term. X times x squared gives us x cubed. Put that over here. X times 4x gives us 4x squared. X times minus 21 gives us minus 21x. Alright, now we're ready to add the like terms here. So we have minus 21 plus nothing, so it's minus 21. Positive 4x plus a minus 21x gives us a negative 17x. Positive x squared and a positive 4x squared, add the 2. And again, if we have no coefficient, it's the same as 1. So we we have 1x squared plus 4x squared is 5x squared. And then we have 0 plus x cubed. So we just have x cubed. So that's the final answer.